want to share with you my experience this past weekend getting real customers in real life in a post-COVID world. So I live in Denver, and what I did was I held this sign at my local park near my house, trying to get people to come talk to me. And I was giving out free career coaching. Really, I wanted to show them the journal and sell them the journal. So in Denver right now, most people have no masks on. So what I ended up doing was I also did not have a mask on. I will share though that on my sign, I put this little sticker that I got my COVID vaccine so that people knew that I didn't have my mask, but I had the vaccine, so that was why I could talk to them without a mask on. Nobody commented on it, nobody had any qualms about me not wearing a mask. So that's the first comment I'll make. The second thing that was really helpful was that I printed out a QR code that people could scan and that would take them directly to my product. This was super helpful because everybody had their phones on them, they pulled it out, and they were ready to buy on the spot with this code available. So if you're wanting to get real customers in real life, I would highly encourage you to have a sign for yourself as well, offering some free services relevant to what you do, as well as putting your product code as a QR code on the poster. I also made this a ribbon, so I hung this around my neck, and that allowed me to have my hands free, and I had the journal in my hand. So this is also really helpful. It's just a ribbon that I taped with one tape at the back, and it worked really well. So a little bit more about my experience talking to people. I was out there standing for 4 hours, and I want to say I only talked to about 4 people. 4 people very seriously. There are a couple of folks who came up to me and then they weren't interested, but they had to go, so we don't count those. And that's the third thing I wanted to share. If you, depending on what you do and the services you offer, you might want to think about taking a break or somehow maybe doing a different service, because for myself, having 4 1-hour long conversations back to back was extremely tiring. Coaching is a very emotional thing to do, and you have to pay intense focus and attention to the other person, to your client when they're speaking. And so to have to do that for 4 hours was a lot. So that's something that I would change the next time I go do this. I would change up the cadence and even maybe the offering, because for these 4 people that I spoke to, I didn't cap them. I was happy to take the conversation wherever it went. But towards the end, I think I really maybe should have said something like, I want to go home at this time, you know, that means that we only have 30 minutes to speak. So I would consider that probably. In terms of offering a free service, I would say that it has to be related to what you're doing so you can grab people in. For all 4 of these people I talked to, it was a very easy transition to start talking about the journal, because the journal is intricately tied to career success. So that's the first thing I would say. Think about what services you can offer. The second thing I want to say is that not everybody that I talked to ended up buying a journal. So the only person that bought the journal was the first person I talked to. He actually ended up buying 2 journals, one for himself and his brother. And I was super excited because that meant that my K factor, my stickiness factor, was really there. So not only did he go home and put in an order, he bought 2. Now, the second person I talked to was not interested in a journal, so if we just forget that, I did not make the sale. Unfortunately for myself, the third and fourth people I talked to, they pulled out their phones while I was with them. They scanned the QR code even, but they ended up not purchasing. And after I went home that day and I emailed them to follow up, because I got their emails and I promised that I would send them a little gift, a PDF, assuming that they bought the journal. I was really disappointed to see that they didn't end up buying the journal. So just know that that can happen. Even while you're with somebody and they said verbally that they would buy one, they might not end up buying one. So if you really want to close the sale, you must make sure that they purchase right in front of you.